Welcome back, everybody. Shout out to the CIA.
Today's topic,
why the hesitation?
Hey everybody, today's topic.
And what's your question?
Hello everyone, welcome to Behind the Animation. Depending upon the interest of everyone who watches these videos, I may continue this if you find it useful. I wanted to kind of go and show how I do some of the animation for my videos. Just to let you know right off the bat, I use an application called Stopmotion animation. It's actually free to use, and if you decide to get the Premiere version, it's actually very cheap. It's only like $4. I'm actually relatively new to this. To kind of give you my background, I've had quite a bit of experience with video editing, having done it for at least a year now. However, I'm just a beginner when it comes to stop motion animation. Now, for a lot of the different things that you've seen me do on the channel as far as the stop motion animation, whether it's the Kevin Samuels video, the Fresh and Fit, Abba and Preach, actual internet news ones, or the other memes, I try to keep my sets as simple as possible. I've been kind of looking around at some of the other people on YouTube as far as sets, and their sets put my sets to shame, but I think keeping it simple allows you a lot more flexibility. I use a lot of green screen in mine, that way I can manipulate the background. However, manipulation of the actual avatars or figurines is the most difficult portion that I have to deal with. So, to kind of go on and show how I do this, we have the Kevin Samuels video in front of me on my phone. I'm not using an iPad, not using a computer. I'll add it in post. Basically, once I have my deal set up and I'll show a picture of my rig, it's actually a very simple square. It's actually a 16 by 16 square Lego tile that has bits of bricks on there. That way it'll keep my phone into position, and then I also use what's called sticky tack. That way I don't have to worry about my phone wiggling or getting a different angle. Now actually, hopefully what you should be looking at now is actually the stop motion app with the Kevin Samuels figurine. One thing that I really noticed is there's really not a lot of different types of Lego figurines that I'm really pleased with. It seems like there's a lot more variation with the standard yellow kind, and as far as being able to do a wide range of facial expressions was the biggest challenge that I had to deal with. If we take a look at this figurine, I'm going to try to zoom in on it. So I'm on this frame right here. We can see Kevin Samuels with his face. And we take a look at this figurine. I actually hand painted this figurine using a thimble. It's a very redundant, unenjoyable experience. I do enjoy the challenge, but as far as doing the actual eye dots and everything, I did the eyes, the eyebrows, the beard, and the hair, and then placing those eye dots, that way they would be symmetrical. I don't know how many times I had to actually do that to get the eyes into place, but it was one of the most unenjoyable experiences where I had to use a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol to rub it off. With most of the figurines that I have, while they're not great, and I'll show you here, they're actually repurposed figurines. I could find more monster figurines that I had to remove the ink off of versus trying to find people who actually owned figurines. If you take a look at the mouth, you can see on the far right hand side that's actually an animated mouth. I can shut it off, that way you can see what it would normally look like without the mouth. With each of these, I actually go through frame by frame and add in the mouths. It seems like the animated mouths actually pop a little bit more and add a little bit more life to my videos. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It seems like for a lot of the videos that I've been doing, especially the Kevin Samuels one, I've gotten a lot of views with this one, and he's easily identifiable as far as, you know, his suit, his face. Regarding the Kevin Samuels video itself, it actually has 408 frames, meaning I had to take 408 pictures to make this work, and that's not even including the girl in the video. Each one of these is a frame. I run mine at roughly 7 to 12 frames per second, and just to kind of show you how I figure this out, if I have 408 frames that you can see at the bottom, I pull out my calculator. 408 divided by 7 equals about 58 seconds. I know if I do 12 frames, 408 divided by 12, I'm going to have about 34 seconds. And since this was a short, and being in between 34 to 58 seconds is roughly where I want to be. So other challenges that I had, the arms of the Lego, they twist but they do not bend. Manipulating the body to where the way that the body fluidly moves, or if you imagine how the body throws something, you have to kind of manipulate the hand as well as the posture of the body. When first making this, the actual movement seemed a little bit weak. It didn't really seem like it snapped. So what I ended up doing is I ended up basically taking all of those frames for Kevin actually throwing. We got the back turn, the lift, the wind up, and then the complete throw. I actually removed, I believe, 5 frames. What I ended up doing is I actually selected all of these frames. From there I copied it and then I ended up changing it. The reason why I ended up doing that way is I would still have the original frames that I needed. From here, that way it would look more like the whip and throw. It just goes from behind the head to forward. The wind up is slow and then the actual throw is the snap. It's a correct animation, but to the human eye, it doesn't look like there's any power behind it. So again, going back to the issues that Legos have, they twist, but the arms don't bend. So I actually did something very creative. I got the first 3 frames of the arm lifting up. I actually ended up using a pencil and I took a separate arm that was white and I taped it to the end of the pencil using green tape, and then I just kind of rotate the arm. Since the camera, when I go into post and I actually zoom in and using the After Effects, you actually can't see this green screen tape or the background, so it actually puts the arm where I want it to be. For this one right here, her setup uses 125 frames. So once I've exported the movie, I open the movie up either in iMovie, which is still on my phone, or I open it up in my computer. I can put one movie on top of the other. I go to my computer, delete the background using the keystone, and put it all together, correct the sound, and then it's done. If you are interested in possibly learning how to do this in the future, whether it's just general animation or actual stop motion, leave me a comment down in the comment section. I can do either go into basic tutorial instructions of how I do my animation. That way you can kind of step up your game a little bit. A lot of people don't like video editing because they think it takes up a lot of time. If there's a lot of footage, if you take a look at the lead attorney animation, his original stream was 1 hour and 30 minutes long. He actually shortened it down to 16 minutes. And then for mine, my actual animation that I made, I shortened that down to 6 minutes, and then I added 4 separate videos plus comedy, critique, and everything, and it was less than 10. Take a look at it. Their links will be right here and down in the video description. Again, I appreciate everyone's support, comments, and everything. Feel free to let me know if this was useful. Appreciate you watching as always. You're always welcome here. This is your last call for insight.